Okay guys, this is Dave again, and I'm coming to you today with a few notes on the mark of the beast and the world that we are living in right now. Before we start though, I want to give thanks to Fisher and Min who provided this video, which we'll be looking at as we're going. And I'll be reading items from the internet, understandingthetimes.org, investmentwatchblog.com, seekingthetruth.com.uk, and npr.org. I wanted to give thanks to all these for their contributions to this video. Starting off where we left off. Warning. The mark of the beast will be mandatory by 2017. Some are saying December 31st. Now it's very important, brothers and sisters, that you really pass this message around. New update and new upload. Is the RFID chip the mark of the beast? What is the connection to the number 666? Will the RFID microchip implant be mandatory by 2017? NBC, people, that's NBC, has recently predicted that in 2017 all of Americans will be tagged with microchips. They recently predicted that in 2017 all Americans will be tagged with microchips. It bears repeating. They will be implanted to help identify individuals immediately. According to the report, the technology is used to answer one question: am I who I say I am? Some worry, however, that the RFID microchip will give the government too much power, more than you think, my friends. Allowing them to track every move. In some states, like Virginia, legislation is in process to stop this from happening. People, I cannot emphasize this enough, this is the mark of the beast. The report also reveals an RFID brain chip that has been developed that is currently being tested on several human beings. It was reported that the use of microchips in Bill H.R. 4872 was located on page 1014 under National Medical Device Registry. It tells about a Class 2 device that is implantable, and yes, they passed the bill. Read page 1014. In the H.R. 4872, read Class 2, Special Controls Guidance for FDA staff. With the RFID technology and the RFID microchip, they can track the movement of the people that are implanted. They can also control the money and food of the people. It is also reported to be possible to even kill the people that don't obey. The H.R. 3962 bill is an exact copy of the H.R. 3200 bill, in which the exception of just a few words removed concerning the RFID microchip, but the ability to chip every citizen of the United States is still in the bill. Open bill and read pages 1501 through 1510, read Class 2, Special Controls, Guidance for FDA staff. Read and do the research for yourself. The Conspiracy of the New World Order, World War III, The Secret. Radio frequency identification, RFID, is the wireless use of electronic fields to transfer data for the purpose of automatically identifying and tracking tags attached to objects. Remember how they first started on your animals, then tagging wildlife to see how they're doing. Now they want to take it one step further. This is biblical Armageddon, my people. Biblical. The tags contain electronically stored information. Some tags are empowered by electronic magnetic induction from magnetic fields produced near the reader. Some types collect energy from the interrogating radio waves and act as a passive transponder. Other types have local power source such as a battery and may operate at hundreds of meters from the reader. Unlike a barcode, the tag does not necessarily need to be within line of sight of the reader and may be embedded in the tracked object. RFID is one method for automatic identification and data capture. RFID tags are used in many industries. For example, An RFID tag attached to an automobile during production can be used to track its progress through the assembly line. RFID tagged pharmaceuticals can be tracked through warehouses. And implanting RFID microchips in livestock and pets, remember what I said, allows positive identification of animals. Since RFID tags can be attached to cash, clothing, and possessions, or implanted in animals and people, the possibility of reading personally linked information without consent has raised serious privacy concerns. These concerns resulted in standard specifications development addressing privacy and security issues, ISO-IEC 18000 and ISO-IEC 29167, use on chip cryptography, methods for untraceable tag and reader authentication. Over-the-air privacy, ISO-IEC 20248 specifies a digital signature data structure for RFID and barcodes, providing data, source, and read method authenticity. This work is done with ISO IEC JTC 1-SC 31 automatic identification and data capture techniques. Very precise account of what is happening in America at this very moment. And they foretell a very dark and sinister fate for our great country. According to 4 major biblical prophets, something truly terrifying is coming our way, and it will hit homeland before the 1st of January of 2017. Now listen up. There may be some out there that are worrying that the enemy might be trying to tell you, well, when I was under in the hospital, did they give this to me? No. This is something that is a law that has to be volunteer. This is something that the individual would get if they chose. This is something that cannot be enforced on any human being. This has to be known, stated, and understood. Having said that, this chip is death. There is no middle ground here, people. This chip is death. It is used for one reason, and one reason only. The Bible says of those that take this thing, they will explode. You will get boils, you will get blisters. This is a heinous thing. And anyone that takes this mark, whether it's in your forehead, or whether it's on your arm or hand, there is no hope for salvation at that moment. There is no hope at all. My advice to you, my friends, is truly, you need to definitely research this particular thing. It is technology that exists today. It's being tested. United Nations, FEMA. I imagine there's military, but it is being tested. And it is already been implemented on some live TV broadcasts. Look on YouTube. Go to NBC. And just mark it in there. Just type up Mark of the Beast. And I'm going to tell you, you will be amazed. This is not a smart card. This is not a smart card. Revelation says that he will cause both great and small, rich and poor, bond and free to receive this mark. And those who choose to receive it are doomed. They are doomed. You will not be able to buy nor sell. You won't be able to pay your rent. And you won't be able to go to the hospital. You won't be able to go into a pharmacist. You will not be able to collect your Social Security. That is right, my friends. Everything monetary is going to be tied into it. Both Social Security, unemployment checks, your payroll checks, food stamps, the host's meal, everything. It does not just affect the poor. These are the very days of Noah. My friends, these are the very days of Noah. These are the days that the prophets of old were warning about. John could not understand. The Apostle John could not understand what he was witnessing when he saw this in Revelations. These are the very days that you're going to see that third temple. And these are the very days that the abomination that causes the desolations is going to sit in that temple, claiming himself to be someone he is not. He is a deceiver. And people better wake up to that. These are those very days. You will not be able to purchase an RV and say, well, I'm getting out of Dodge. I'll just fill up the old gas tank, take plenty of fuel with me, and away I go. No, you won't. When that is implemented, and it's soon, my friends, it's going to start off as a volunteer program first, and they're going to hype it up with all kinds of conveniences. It might even help acne. All lies. These are deceptions. That mark is for one reason only. It is exactly as it sounds like, the mark of the beast. You, in a sense, are turning yourself, if you choose this, if you ignore this message, into Nephilim. That's right, Nephilim. We've all heard the story how the sons of God had saw the daughters of men. Genesis 6. How they lusted in their heart after them. They took wives of all they chose. They left their first state, which is paradise. And I'm sure these wives didn't have a say-so in the matter. They bore children to these fallen ones. And they were giants. They were giants, my friend. Those self-same giants went through and defiled every single animal that they could find. Every fish, every bird. Henceforth, you have the dinosaurs. And every other mythical creature that you've ever heard about in Greece has its links to this one episode in history. These are not make-believe, my friends. These are true. These are not something fantasized. These are true. This is where I will end this number 6, and we'll go on to number 7.